the art of boxing, the emotional fanfare from Rocky.
Hello everybody, nice to see you all again, many viewers I got out there, and this week I'm going to be reviewing Rocky Balboa, which to me is my highlight of 2007 so far. What can I say about this film? It was an excellent experience. I loved every minute of watching it. Just let me quickly tell you what the Rocky series means to me. You know, Rocky 1 was a great drama about the underdog, Oscar-worthy acting, brilliant script by Stallone, you know, mirrored how he was getting on in life at the time, you know, wasn't getting very far in the movies and really had to push himself to get to the top, 1 in a million shot. Rocky 2 was kind of like the Hollywood remake of it in a sense. He'd already reached the top, now he's got to stay there at his peak, and you know, it was great to have that rematch with Apollo again. Rocky 3, I mean, you can't beat Mr. T, can you? I mean, I pity the fool and all that sort of thing. That was brilliant. That's when it started to turn into a comic book thing, but to me, that's just as good as the drama-orientated side of it, having the guilty pleasure side of it. And Rocky 4 was like the ultimate guilty pleasure, you know what I'm saying? You know, like Ivan Drago, I must break you, all that sort of thing. Rocky 5, not quite as good. Bit of a come down, a brave step for the character. By no means a terrible film, but let's be honest, it was trying to be like #1, but wasn't quite as good, so it left quite a sour taste in everyone's mouth, I think. Well, now, you know, it's been, what, 17 years? Well, only just about 16, 17 years since the last Rocky film, and I think we've all been waiting for this one for a long time, and what can I say apart from it really doesn't disappoint. So, yeah, get ready for the review, because you're going to love it.
Torture him. I'm going to crucify him real bad.
Okay, well, let's start with the general plot of this one. Basically, in short summary, Sylvester Stallone plays Rocky again, who's mourning the loss of his wife, Adrian, who died, unfortunately, due to woman cancer, as he puts it. And he's only in a restaurant now, and he recounts stories of all his past fights. Funnily enough, the one in Rocky 5 doesn't get mentioned very often, although there is one tiny reference to it somewhere in the film, but you only pick it up if you're a really astute fan. Anyway, his son's grown up, and he sort of shuns him, and he's sort of ashamed that every time someone recognises him, it's due to his father's name, Polly. He's working back at the meat store. Rocky obviously still hasn't got millions in the bank because he's sort of living where he was in Rocky 5. And he's just sort of living in the past, really. And then basically a virtual computer match happens on a sports channel, and this sort of gets Rocky thinking maybe he can sort of take up boxing again, and in the virtual match he's put up against the current champion Mason the Lion Dixon, and in the virtual match he actually beats Mason Lion Dixon, so therefore his promoters come to Rocky and they try and sort of persuade him to get back in the ring. And it's more about sort of Rocky not so much gearing up for a fight this time, but more about him sort of proving to himself and everyone else that he's still got the heart to actually do things in life that a lot of people might think you're too old to do and you should have really given up a long time ago. But yeah, basically the plot is Rocky's got to train to get back in the ring one final time and to prove to everyone that an old dog can still learn some new tricks.
I feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
Well, how does the acting in this entry compare to all the other Rocky films? Well, let me just say, this film really does pack a punch. Sylvester Stallone acts his heart out in this film, and the one thing that this entry has that the last few didn't is what I would call verisimilitude. Verisimilitude means that no matter how unrealistic the situation is, say like in a comic book movie, the actors and directors try and achieve some kind of realism for everything that might not be realistic. So, you know, a fighter that hasn't fought for years going back in the ring tries to make it as realistic as possible. Dealing with Adrian's death, dealing with his son not wanting to talk to him anymore, all those sort of things. Stallone really puts his heart into this one and doesn't bring any sort of over-the-top comic book sort of acting into it at any point, really. Anyway, why don't you check out for yourself just how good Stallone's acting is in this clip.
How long we staying here?
Not long.
Well, I'm glad they tore this ice rink down.
Come on.
You heard me. I'm happy they tore it apart.
First time I walked your sister across this ice, we was over there. She was nervous, but I weren't so great on the blades either.
Ice is stupid. People standing on ice are more stupid.
Then over there, where she was falling, and my hand grabbed her, and I got her arm through that coat. I could feel electric.
You said the same thing last year, Rock.
You weren't born much of a body, so you better develop your brain. You never got a chance, though, because soon you're left-handed.
I can't sing a dance. We're done. There's no place to sit down around here.
Oh, it's all right.
It ain't all right. It's depressing and freaking cold.
What's the matter with you, Paulie?
You're living backwards, Rocco. Change the channel from yesterday. Yesterday wasn't so great.
It was to me.
Not to me. You treated her good. You had the good times. I treated her bad. I don't have to think about this.
She always loved you, Paulie.
Sorry, Rocco. I can't do this no more.